in heavier traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
Starting the show with anger. Welcome to This Week in Zoltan.
It doesn't sound like it's, I'm sorry, it doesn't sound like it's on, but it's on.
Maybe you have to turn the volume up.
It's up. Did I turn it down?
Oh, there you go.
Is it that better? Ah.
There you go.
Is that too...
Hold on. Did you turn it on, Zoltan?
You should see. Oh, my God. I get so angry every time. Oh, just do this. Oh, why did Uber say I'm across the street when I'm over here? Why did Uber send me? Why? When I open Uber Eats in a new town, is it like, oh, I won't tell you that you're not near any of these restaurants until you complete your order. You hit go and you're like, it seems to us that you are 1,500 miles away from this Pizza Hut you're trying to order.
Nothing irks Zoltan like the small things.
Technology, the little things. My fat thumb hits the wrong button. I misspell something in a text. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say duck. That's what I'm trying to text iPhone. Come on. Anyway.
The small thing for me lately is when a tiny drop of water gets on your iPhone screen and it just cannot be used. You hit A, and then it just sends your 3 ex-girlfriends ago a picture that says, I miss you. It's like it never... Do you ever notice the water on the screen? It just... Your iPhone just goes, no.
Yeah. What is that? A little bit of moisture, and it's like, yeah, are you trying to say swastika? No. That's the last thing I'm trying to say. Why are you sending
that to all my contacts?
Oh, dear God. I hate it all.
Can you hear me, though?
I can hear you. We pumped you up.
Okay.
And then hopefully the video quality is better this week because I had Mark on the phone and he's like, he looked at the settings. I FaceTimed him and I showed him the screen on the back of the camera and he's like, what happened here? All of this is way wrong. We had the shutter speed at 8,000 like we're shooting the moon landing.
I think that was my fault.
Was that you? What are you shooting these journals at?
I was taking pictures of the safe journal and then I didn't know what I changed it to.
Well, were you throwing the safe journal across the room and catching it in midair? Like, what kind of footage are you shooting?
I honestly don't know.
Anyway, so we got the ISO...
Look, I can see Paris from here. It's not what we wanted.
It was grainy. We last week's episode, Emma and I looked like Sasquatch footage from the woods, but
that's what I always look like.
No
matter the camera.
Not soon. What are we? How many days are you into the injections?
4.
Whoa. How do you feel?
I started Saturday. I lost 32 pounds.
Jesus.
No.
Good
God.
God.
No way.
I don't know if I actually did it right. I'm going to be honest. I clicked it. It felt a little poke. But I was like, I don't feel the medicine going in. Normally, you can feel it going in. And when I pulled it out, there was a little droplet of medicine just like resting on my belly. I was like, I don't know, I did it. And then like an hour later, I was just like so hungry. I was like, did I get a placebo? It's just like a test. They gave me the opposite. They gave me the GLP-2. They're like, this one makes him fatter. I don't know because I can't stop eating. I don't think it's working. This is 100% true. Like, I'm not trying to be silly. Like, I just don't know if it's working or not.
Wow.
Maybe it takes a while to start kicking in.
I don't know, but I'm hungry just thinking about it right now.
Wow. Maybe it's like the Chinese food version of the drug where it works for an hour and then you're starving again.
They just pump, instead of a GLP-1, it's just MSG.
It's just MSG. They just pumped MSG into
It's GLP-1 from Temu.
I do wonder if, you know how like the oil companies hate solar and hate electric cars and all that stuff. I do wonder if big American snack companies like Pillsbury and all those ones are like so mad at these injections because like no one's going to be plowing Oreos and Keebler Elves are going to they're going to be out of work. They're going to be drunk on the streets, homeless because they can't sell their cookies.
To those executives?
But my point is, I wonder if there's going to be a shot like this, but it's made by...
If you stop all these school shootings, or what are the bullet manufacturers going to think about it? Don't care. You're killing people.
I bet you there's a room full of Keebler Elves executives running around going, we need to invent a weight loss shot where it doesn't impede people's hunger and they can still plow these cookies. Because that is the ultimate dream. Like, because science is getting there. Like, now we have injections to help people lose weight. They just brought back an extinct animal. Did you see that? The dire wolf is back after being extinct for 13,000 years. We just blew his mind. See, this is why I watch those news clips on YouTube, and then I wake you up and I go, "Did you know the dire wolf is back?" And you're like, "It is 7 a.m. Can you please calm down?"
Yeah.
And go make coffee
Your
before you
timing
eat.
is always great.
My timing is only good on stage, and the rest of my life it's frantic at best.
There's brought back by a company in North Texas called Colossal Biosciences.
Yep.
I don't trust that at all. That's the far as I got, and I don't trust it.
I watched a clip on ABC News or I don't know, one of the big news things, and they did it by they took the DNA of a type of wolf that's still alive, and they were able to modify the DNA to knock out all the new parts of the wolf, but only hang on to the dire wolf DNA strand that they already had. And then they were somehow able to make these little puppies. And their plan is to, that's their whole company. Their plan is to bring back the mammoth in, 2030, which is insane. They're going to, bring back extinct... And that's amazing. That's, how is that not bigger news? That's like Jesus came back and was like, hey, the Buddhists were right all along. That should be major news, you know?
Somewhere Jeff Goldblum's going, yes, yes.
Has Jeff Goldblum ever not looked villainous in a public interview? I don't trust that guy at all.
I don't think so. God, I wish I could do a Jeff Goldblum.
I can't.
It seems so fun.
I bet you he has a lot of missing housekeepers that the families are looking for answers. And
yeah, he's either the Gilgo Beach murderer or has 0 skeletons. I think it's got to be one way or the other. He doesn't have a couple of problems. He's either every day he has a pin, a little push pin in his shoe, so that he's just always reminded calm down, or he's an actual saint.
I don't know. He might be one of those hiding in plain sight where he's I'm at everything and I'm in bedazzled everything, and that's my way to make sure no one ever questions why these housekeepers have gone missing. I don't know. I feel like there'd be questions. There should be questions. Anyway, I'm pumped about they're bringing back extinct animals. I asked you this morning what animal you wanted to bring back. What would you say?
I don't know. There's too many to choose from. The dodo, maybe?
The dodo bird. You said saber-toothed tiger, which is awesome. They bring those back. We're all dead. Mike, do you have an animal that's been extinct that you were I could see that one coming back?
I think it'd be pretty cool if a triceratops or something.
Yeah.
Or what's the one that flies? Is that a triceratops?
Velociraptor? No. That's the trackiest.
The pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Thank you.
That would be wicked.
Oh,
to
my
just
God.
have just to look up and be there's a couple of dactyls hanging out.
How excited would every cast member on Love on the Spectrum be if we could bring back these dinosaurs? Every one of them would line up. That would be their what? I'm canceling this date because I'm going to go fly on a velociraptor or whatever the hell. They're going to be so excited.
How quickly do pterodactyls come back before they become domesticated? And they're doing ride the pterodactyl at Myrtle Beach.
I'm telling you,
They're
there's
the first ones to do it. Some hillbilly. I got a whole bucket full of them back here, selling on the side of the road.
just a Saudi prince holding a pterodactyl. He's hey, have you seen my pterodactyl? It's gonna...
And then 10 minutes
Always
later,
bring
he's
the
cutting
Saudi
into
into
it.
this
Because I was validated in a comment that said, yes, I know what he's talking about.
with the hawks.
Yeah, with the hawks. Have you seen my hawk? And you're like...
Have you seen my hawk? Have you tried my hawk soup? They say that they say that Elon's the richest person in the world, but that's just on paper, because it's it's untold, undocumented wealth that these Saudi princes have.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy money. They're it doesn't even come close to how much money they have.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, because the only way you can prove who the richest person in the world is you have to file taxes.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
If you're not
document oil
filing-
money.
Yeah. And it's not in their benefit.
Yeah.
It's not in their benefit to go, yeah, we have 10 times what Elon has, but also, look at my huck. Look at this.
Also, pterodactyl rides coming to Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines.
That's so
Always
silly.
Greek.
He's Russian. He's a Russian oil oligarch. That's fun to say.
I have to do a white race nationalities impression. Otherwise, I'm a bad person.
Yes,
so.
that is the era we're living in. But Trump's trying to change that, so that's good. He's burning
Fingers
books.
crossed,
and
buddy.
I think he's doing. You know why I think he's on a DEI tear is because he's friends with Rob Schneider, and Rob Schneider desperately wants to put on like a Chinese hat and just do the most racist Asian.
You mean again?
Yes, that's what I mean. I think he's trying to bring back a sketch character from like
that.
SNL. He's like, "Come on, Trump," and he's like, "I'll see what I can do." And he's just
Schneider's still selling out. He's still out there doing it. Like I don't see and good for him.
God bless him. I mean, if you've seen his act, good Lord. But he talks like in interviews, and I met him once backstage. He talks like I'm like, whoa, is this guy Marlon Brando? Like if you didn't know the roles that he played, you'd think you were talking to a master thespian. Like he talks like I don't know, one of those big muckety muck actors, you know,
One of those big time actor folks.
like you know how Adrian Brody talks. Like he talks like he's Adrian Brody. And then you're like, oh my God, what movies was he in? Then you look it up. He's like, oh, it's a bellhop from Home Alone 2.
You can do it.
He played him like a...
And he goes like this. Thank you. Does this a lot?
Yes! He does that. He talked down about Metallica in the green room at the Comedy and Magic Club. I'll never forget it. That's why I don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing to say. I like his acting. I like his movies.
Which one?
But I'm also a 13-year-old at heart. Like his era of being in movies, was me growing up. So it's like I don't care about his politics. I'm not going to go see him live, but like when he comes up on my screen in the movies that I like him in, I'm never going to go, ugh.
I agree with every one of them, but all of my favorite Rob Schneider moments are in other people's movies. I don't think like any of like his solo movies I was a fan of, even the Gigolo ones.
I thought Deuce Bigalow was hilarious.
Maybe I never watched it.
But it was also like 12. Like, of course it was hilarious.
I didn't realize we were going to get into referencing so soon.
Yeah, well...
Well, this is actually analytical referencing.
Yeah.
We're not just doing live.
I have no
We're
idea
talking about the movie.
who Rob Schneider is.
You never seen Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo?
No.
Remember, I'm going to give you a line
Did
from...
somebody say steak? I say that all the time.
I didn't say let's do more.
I'm going to give you a line from Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
And you can tell me if you know who Rob Schneider is.
Okay.
This is a line to Rob Schneider, not from Rob Schneider. Cedric, don't count your tips in public.
Oh, I know who that is.
Cedric.
It's
Oh, don't worry about it, sir. I'm still chewing the last thing.
I like that.
That's Rob Schneider.
Oh, okay.
And
I had all this cash I was going to give you.
I'm still getting over it. So, anyway, that was a long way to circle back to you ended up getting the shots and you're hungry an hour later.
Yeah, I don't know. But then yesterday I was eating lunch and I struggled to get through it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing.
Ah.
I just had like a normally portioned meal. I've been like meal prepping and I'm like very full.
That's great.
So we'll see.
That's awesome, man.
I've got 100 pounds to lose in the next 3 weeks.
Wow.
So we're going to give it a shot.
Wow.
Was literally are the shots wait, what?
That's a good job. Look at you catching puns. I never catch any puns. I'm proud of you.
Were the shots easy to administer?
Yeah, they're like it's own little like pouch package. You just pop a thing, put it in, and throw it away. It's not like it's not like a syringe.
Oh,
it's like
really?
a built-in. It's like a push button, and then it automatically pops it, puts it, flips it. And you throw
So
it
you're
away.
not like holding it up to the sunlight, like flicking the air bubbles out.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing heroin in my kitchen.
I wonder.
I was kind of hoping I would.
Yeah, I know. I thought Becca would be tying
This
you
is
off.
like
yeah.
if we're not flicking a syringe, are we really doing medicine?
Yeah.
Did you do it yourself or did Becca do it for you?
No, she was on her bachelorette party
okay.
cruise, so I was all alone. Get my fat shots.
There's something funny about that.
That is so funny. Just this, like, if life was a movie, she's over there having a bachelorette party. I'm assuming just dancing with her friends to getting jiggy with it or whatever her era of music is. That's going to be way later. That's more my era of music. And then it smash cuts to your apartment in Queens in the kitchen. Just Mike going.
Just shirtless, hovering over an apple, going, "This is all I get to eat now."
That's funny when you think of it that way. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I had to go do a training session. They had to go to a nurse to show you how to do the shots. And I go, "What should I bring?" They go, "Just bring your ID and your insurance card." And I show up, and they're like, "Do you have your medicine?" I go, "No, they didn't tell me." And they were like, "Well, how are we going to do this without your medicine?" I go, "Can't you just..." And then I swear to you, she Googled Eli Lilly, whatever, Zepbound tutorial, and then put the video up, and I watched the video. And I go, "Oh, it's a good thing you found that video." She goes, "Oh, and this is what we do for everybody." I go, "Send me the link, man."
yeah, why am I here?
You made me come all the way to Union Square to watch, to show you can show me a video and then go, "Any questions?" I was so annoyed.
That's
Wow.
annoying.
It's a private link. That's what it is.
Well,
We don't
I
want.
guess the reality is they wanted to make sure that like they were going to have me do the injection to watch me do it,
Right.
and then watch me to make sure I didn't have some sort of reaction.
That's incredible because it was a way tougher thing just to get contact lenses than it is for you to get injections that you're going to do yourself at home.
I can't believe we're doing it. Like we've gotten to the point where we're giving ourselves injections.
That's where it's come to. That, I mean,
It's crazy.
like, and just the ease of it. Like when I got contact lenses, they wouldn't let me leave the optometrist until I could put it in and take it out 3 times.
Yeah.
I was in that office for 4 hours. It was terrifying. It was like that's why my appointment was in the morning so that I could have their entire work shift to be in the back just trying to touch my eyeball. And then they finally let me leave. You're over there giving yourself a shot in the kitchen, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you watch this DVD and get the hell out of here?"
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's crazy.
But I'm happy
Reminds me
for
of,
you.
Michael Kaszas' joke about he goes, "You ever do this? You ever put contacts in on top of contacts you forgot to take out?"
Yes.
He goes, "I'm wearing 27 pairs of contacts right now."
Yeah, I've seen those videos where they just keep taking contacts out of the back of the eye.
Yeah, you showed me
Oh
that
my
old
God.
lady that like somehow her contacts were just slipping to the back, and she's like, "Oh, I guess that one dissolved," and then she just kept adding more,
Yeah.
and then she's like,
How do you not know?
"I don't know, I don't."
The other one, he goes, "You ever take your contacts out? Then 3 minutes later, you take your contacts out again, scratching your retina, bleeding all the way down your face onto your leather robe." Michael Kaszas is so underrated. How funny he is.
I do always try to take my contacts out before the edible kicks in. That is one of my. It's like, take the edible, get those contacts out, because that is a whole thing. Like sometimes you'll take them out and you're like, "Is it out?" And then I'll read a shampoo bottle and I'll be like, "I can read it," but I don't realize that it's close enough that I should be able to anyway. You know what I mean?
No.
Nobody. I love it.
I don't wear contacts. I got perfect vision.
I have perfect vision too.
Yeah, must be nice. I've been blind since the
Props.
2nd grade.
I do wear. Oh wait, where am I? I guess I don't wear them. I have like blue blocker glasses, but I misplaced them.
Do you really like the elderly, like post eye surgery glasses?
No, like the ones
No,
for
they're
the
just like-
computer screen.
It's for computer screens because I have like 500 computer screens here, and
Yeah.
so I'm just kind of like. I asked the eye doctor. I go, "Should I wear those?" They go. I was like, "That's seems like you should have an answer one way or the other, doc. You're the expert here." Still bought
I
them.
feel like you had a bunch of pairs of those.
I
and
did
I remember
during
I
the pandemic.
and I
yeah.
tried them, and I told myself it was doing something, but I also don't know that it was. Did you
Yeah.
ever notice a difference when you had them on or not?
I mean, I just wore them for fashion.
Right, yeah,
they were so cute.
yeah, you'd wear them to like lunch.
Yeah.
yeah, that we ate at the park because
Or like
restaurants
just
were
for
closed.
meetings at work. Like I do
Yeah.
different.
It's more for style.
It's more for style.
That was half the reason I got them because they look really cool.
I always wanted, when I was a kid and I got my first pair of glasses, I spent the first hour at home just practicing taking them off and having conversations while I shook them at
Did
people.
you actually do that?
That's a 100% true story. I
my
spent a
God.
lot of time alone as a child, and I would just take the glasses off and go, "You don't know what you're talking about." And then I'd put them, and then I'd like suck on the tip and be like, maybe, you know, I would have, like, that's honest. That was like how, that was my first 5 hours of having glasses, was like just having the dramatic scene in a movie. You gotta be kidding me, you know? And then you put them back, and then you put them on top of your head, and then you hang them in your shirt, and you're like, what's that?
You don't do any of that now.
I know, because I'm used to it, but like that first day of having glasses, that's where you get to do all the drama. You get to do all the drama.
I wish I had glasses so I could do this. To emphasize, excuse me? I'll do it now without them sometimes. I'll be like, pardon?
There used to be a running gag where I used to do this one to you, and I just pull it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd push it back up.
Yeah.
And be like, well, I don't know about that.
It's fun to do without glasses, too. Be like, pardon me?
This is actually really fun to do without glasses. Yeah. Didn't someone do that on White Lotus? Where they pulled down imaginary glasses, or one of the 10 other shows we've been watching that are now blending together, and they pull it down.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Have you finished White Lotus?
Yeah, we're all caught up. We watched the end. And are you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked this season a lot.
It was really good.
I think the hate for it is really annoying because people. It's like saying, you know, I didn't like this season of White Lotus because The Office had a really good ending. It's like they're comparing like two different shows almost. Like I get it, it's the same show, but it's just enjoy the ride. Stop comparing stuff.
So
What
they're
are
saying,
people saying?
yeah.
People are really upset about the
Really?
ending and like it was too slow and like nothing's happening. It's like, yeah, that's called exposition. Like none of it was out of place. And the ending, but all these open, yeah, that's what happens each year with White Lotus, and then they close it up the following, like it's all one kind of continuous.
Right.
We're gonna find out later. Like, yeah, I want to know what the problem was with the financial company, but I'm sure we'll get it later.
That's
and if
not
not,
the point.
I didn't write it.
Yeah. Also, that wasn't
know?
the point, you idiot. The point was about this rich family going to Thailand because one of the kids was going to go be a Buddhist, but she didn't tell everybody, and they were just like, oh, we're going to make a family vacation out of it, and you watch them crumble. You watch a rich family, each one of them having an identity crisis. The girl not thinking she connects with her family, thinking Buddhism is her way. You have the middle brother who's completely lost. He's in a family of narcissists, and he just listens to what his brother and sister and parents tell him to do. You have the narcissistic older brother that he's just a walking hard-on. He just wants to sleep with everybody, and he thinks money and success is all that there is to life. And you have the dad who's like dealing with the crumbling secret that he can't tell his family, and you have the wife who's pilled up going, I like my life. You know, like it's so much happened.
Are they even good people?
I will say this.
They're decent people.
If you watched all 8 episodes of White Lotus and your ending conclusion is nothing happened and what happened with the crimes and all that stuff, you're dumb. I don't know. You're dumb. Is my point, I guess. Like you shouldn't read. Like sometimes it's about the point of the story, not what happens. It's like the ending of The Wrestler. Randy the Ram Robinson jumps off the top rope and it goes to credits, and some people are mad. Did he live? Did he die? That wasn't the point.
Yeah, who cares?
That wasn't the point. Like I don't know. That's angering. All of it was so good. Those 3 women, the friends, that just talking about aging, talking about friendship, talking about just the dynamic of threes, for God's sake.
Seeing one of their boobs. That was tight.
I will say,
didn't see that coming, honestly.
One of the scenes that didn't make sense to me is they were right next to, this is a spoiler alert, so if you haven't watched the end of White Lotus, don't listen to this, but at the end, a murder happens to them, next to them. They're 2 feet next to a murder, and they run away. And then in the closing scenes, there's a scene of them at the airport, just kind of smiling at each other. Like, what a trip. What a trip that was. And I'm like, is that the face you would have?
After a murder.
After you were 2 feet away from a murder that you ran away from? Wouldn't you be just in like white-faced horror? As they hand you a hot cloth in first class, you're like, oh, yeah, yes, thank you. We saw a murder. And like, wouldn't that be your? I don't know. There's a few things.
I also like that multiple people died.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was always just one,
Yeah,
but this
I
was
know.
like, kind of all out of nowhere. Apparently, there was a cut piece of the show where the daughter that was going to be a Buddhist
Piper.
and the son of the massage lady, I can't remember
Yes.
his
Zion.
name.
Yeah, Zion.
Zion, that they apparently have sex, and she lost her virginity to him, and that they edited that whole storyline out because it just didn't track with the rest
Yeah,
of the
that
show.
wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah,
I loved the.
but they showed a scene. Mike White was talking about the scene where she's walking in the last episode, and he's like, the reason that scene she's got like a real grin on her face is because she just had sex for the first time. So that got cut out, but that scene had to stay. So like, it's weird that she's walking in all like. I don't know how.
I don't even remember
sex,
that.
so I don't know what the face is, but it's something like this.
It'd be funny just walk in, just. What? What is that, right?
She comes in like this.
Oh my gosh.
That really hurt my arm. Top forearm.
Did they do that? Did they pack chaw when you lived?
No, but it is a California thing, but I think it's more Northern California. But like, is that what this comes from? Pack and chaw?
The kids, when I was in school, that's how they would put the tin can and then pack it because it would pack all the dip in the so you can get a better.
I thought that was from Ali G.
Ali G. He
Ali
did
G.
this too?
Yeah, I thought that was his thing.
That was boom, booyakasha.
Booyakasha, yeah.
Oh, but he did
But I always
this.
knew it. I always knew it from Pack and Shaw. I didn't realize it was from other things.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't know.
either. I figured it was from...
I think it just became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it was from something white trashy. Pack and dip or whatever, chaw, whatever that is. That sounds about right. But anyway, I liked White Lotus.
Yeah, I loved it.
I thought it was
think
really good.
Every scene is just beautiful.
I loved that the lady that ended up getting the money ended up doing to her Asian boyfriend what was done to her by Tanya, which was, hey, we're going to start a business. I'm into it. And then the moment she gets $5 million, she's like, things have changed. And then that guy's just devastated, and I'm leaving tomorrow. And it was exactly what happened to her season 1, and I thought that was really beautiful.
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely saw more anguish in her, and like there was no money promised. They were just like, hey, we should do business together.
Right.
Like it wasn't like it was two people on the same level, just like kind of dreaming about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting turn for her.
But it was she knew what that felt like. Like that moment where you're like, oh, I thought something was going to happen business wise, and now it's not going to. I don't know. It was.
I don't understand at all why Goggins went back to the
Thank
hotel.
you.
To that guy's hotel.
Yeah, that made
That's
no
what I
sense.
said. I was
Just
like,
casually eating breakfast. I'm like, dude, get out of there.
you just tipped over that old man. Which
What do you think is going to happen now?
it was so funny that like that's all he needed for closure. He didn't need to kill the old man. He just needed to tip his chair and have him go and he's like, you know what? That felt pretty good. And then he vamoosed. That's all you need. Sometimes you just need to commit a little elder abuse, and all your sins will be forgiven. And then maybe don't go back to the hotel where you tricked the owner and assaulted her husband.
Yeah, the second he went on the beach and saw his girl, he should have been like, let's go.
Yeah.
Our bags are
I
packed.
can't tell you why, but we need to leave now.
I'll tell you, I didn't kill anybody, but we still need to go.
But it's as close to it as you can get.
Yeah. Especially at his age, that 2-foot fall, I've seen people take it out for less. I've seen that fall. I used to work at the retirement home. That's a big fall.
Yeah.
That's the last fall for a lot of them.
Yeah. That's Yes, it is, Mike.
Wow, that took a turn.
Yeah, that took a turn to darkness. Don't look into that red light. You're gonna.
And it's always funny. What?
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed the show, and then we've been watching this Love on the Spectrum. Have you been watching the new season of that?
I haven't, no.
It's very funny, but now I've noticed, and Emma's noticed this too, that the people on Love on the Spectrum know that they're TV stars, and they I think they're trying to be funny now.
Yeah, you can tell their lines are prepped.
Well, yeah.
They have like writers.
Either that or but they leave these parts in for us to watch where they come in for the sit down testimonial and they're like, oh, let me take that again. And then they leave and then they come back and then they say the same line. So it's clearly a line they had ready and they left in the part where they're like, let me take that again. And then now they'll look to the camera and go, cut that out.
Oh, yeah, and then play this song as I walk out.
Yeah, play this song as I walk out, and then they added this.
Pretty cute.
It's hilarious, but now it's like, it almost, sometimes they'll say things that are so funny where I'm like, I think they planned to say that because they know that that's really funny.
I submitted a packet for that. they didn't take it. I know a couple of comics here that should have submitted.
And I've said this at previous seasons on Love on the Spectrum. All the families are loaded. I think autism might be a rich person thing. If you watch it on that show, I'm sure there's families that aren't rich that have children with autism. But if you watch that show and all you know about the spectrum is that show, you would assume that everyone that has it is filthy rich. They all live in like Dana Point, California, like nice houses overlooking the beach. Everyone's loaded. No one's at work.
I thought it was all like overseas. I didn't know there was an American version of that.
No, there's an American
This is the American version. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Maybe
they're
I've never seen that.
all like in the South or California. But they all have very nice houses, and the parents have a lot of resources. They're like, oh, the handwriting coach and
Agents, apparently.
oh, they're repped. I'm surprised James isn't on tour. Like, I follow James on Instagram, and he got to go backstage for Disturbed, his like favorite band, and it's awesome. He just goes back there. He's like, oh, I loved your first album. He starts going off, and all the people in the band are like, all right, thank you. And then the only time he was...
They don't watch TV.
They don't watch TV.
They don't know who this is. They're like, okay. All right.
That's exactly what it was. And then they took a photo, and the only time James was quiet was during the photo. And after that, he was like, oh, I love you guys so much. I was happy for him.
Very sweet.
He's so sweet. Yeah. They're very genuine, and they're so honest.
Yeah.
They're like, if people were as honest as the Love on the Spectrum folks are during dating, there would be a lot less arguments on social media of people going, why are men like this? Why are women like this? Why not just be honest?
I also noticed that like none of them care about physical appearances at all. Like it's all solely based on personality for them.
Yep. It's like, oh, you don't like rocks? I'm out of here. But if you like what I like and one other thing, we're set for life. I think I want to marry you. Yeah. It's like one of their reasons was he also likes country music, and he let me collect shells. I think that was it. And he's like, I'm ready to marry Tyler now.
Well, isn't there a couple that like their whole thing was like, oh, we both love Disney movies, and now they're just like inseparable?
They love Disney. They're trying to. This one couple, they're trying to figure out where they're gonna live, and the guy is like, well, we have to live near San Diego Safari Park. He's like, I don't care if it's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom.
It's a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable for David. We have to live near the San Diego Safari Park, not the.
It's the only time he ever like puts. He's like, I'm putting my foot down. Like, whoa, this guy was sweet up until now.
It's also, you can tell they're kind of annoyed because now they're following couples that have been together for a while, and you know, in the beginning, the it's like beginning love, right? So it's like everything's amazing. But now David and I forget the girl's name, but they've been together now for
Abby.
Abby, yes,
Yeah.
they've been together now for a couple seasons, and there's now when they meet, they're like, "Oh, it's so good to see you," and then they both kind of do an eye roll. They're like, I think they're annoyed of each other. But they're
doing an interview with David, and he's just like, "Oh, hold on, she's singing A Whole New World again." Get a new movie. No, we're good. Sips his black coffee, rips a cigarette.
Oh man! But now, like James went on a date with a gal that I don't think is on the spectrum, but hit him up through his DMs.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then James rejected her. James was like, I don't think we have a romantic match, and I was like, man, like that's got to sting a little. Because you reached out. I think she reached out thinking this is a sure bet. Like, this guy's going to be into me. And because I'm sure she assumed he doesn't get hit on a lot. I see him having, like, struggles, speed dating. He always goes on speed dating things, and they don't seem to work out for him. So she made the initiative. She hit him up. She's all over him like a cheap suit, already like infatuated with him, and James is like, yeah, I don't really see where this is gonna go, and it shatters her world, and I'm like, man, that's a bummer. You know,
she's touring theaters now. I heard that girl. Though.
I think
she got passed at the Comedy Store.
I'll be if there's some sort of meet and greet with James or pretty much anyone from the show, like if they put out a book
Take
or
a look at this guy.
I'd be like, oh, follow him on Instagram. He's great. He'll put on long rants about different things.
Oh yeah, James he's like a classic Renaissance festival fan.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
He's got Renaissance fair face.
Oh, he loves it. He wears a cape. He won't cut his hair.
Does he actually go to the Renaissance fair?
Yes. No, that's
so
real.
funny.
Yeah, he took a date.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he took a date to the Renaissance.
He just looks like everyone at the Renaissance fair, so I assumed.
You nailed it, dude. He sings in a metal band. Like I saw a video on Instagram. He sings in a metal band, but he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and like those sandals that go all around your feet with no socks, I mean, if it was with socks, it would be dorkier, but it's just funny watching the guy in shorts and a Hawaiian shirt singing death metal. Totally not dressing up for the occasion. But I dig his confidence.
Yeah. They're all great.
I love watching.
But isn't
that show.
metal a little anti-establishment? So
exactly
anti-establishment, the establishment.
He's dressed like Jimmy Buffett, singing about goats and the devil, and I think it's wonderful. I think it's how it's free expression that music is supposed to be all along.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? Because I know we have another podcast you have to jump to.
Like 40-ish.
All right.
Right around 40,
All right.
a little bit less.
Let me know when you got a hard out.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll bounce out.
I'm just keeping an eye. As soon as I get here, I'm going to have to
Yeah, I got you.
get cooking here. I got the original dad from Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway. He originated the role.
Wow.
He's going to be in today doing a show, yeah.
That's incredible.
I don't know who that is,
And
but
then
that's cool.
this week we had, The Big Short. Did I tell you about that?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the characters, like Steve Carell, the guy that he played, the real version of that guy started a new podcast here as well.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. Seems like a nice guy.
That's the guy who predicted the economic crash of 2008. Am I
yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the one that bet against it and made like billions of dollars.
He bet against it. Wow.
Or crazy money. I said billions just because that's a word.
Yeah, draw a bunch of zeros on a piece of paper. That's how much you made. Wow.
That's
And he's doing a podcast at your studio.
Sure is.
Wow.
The Burrow
House.
Burr House, dude.
Burrow House, dude. See, it's fun, isn't it?
How do you title an episode? Chaw slapping.
Booyakasha.
Zins.
Booyah.
I feel like people do that with Zins. Oh, that's the time, Mushi. Why don't you use the litter box? We're running a real professional space. But anyway, we had a good weekend. We were in Boise.
Mm-hmm.
I finally dragged you to Boise, Idaho. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of going.
I have not.
Wonderful city. You were blown away by how friendly everybody is.
Like, I'm Canadian, and I'm like, this is too nice.
Yeah, you were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're like, people are smiling. Everyone was so nice. Like, went out of their way to say hello to us. Were nice. You said even the skanks were nice.
Yeah, because, like, usually, I don't know, like, skanks always give you, like, a dirty look.
Yeah, that's what she's noticed.
And we were at a bar, and I saw a couple,
Yeah.
I don't like saying skanks, but they're skanks. And then they
Well, you said it for
Yeah. 4 skanks.
and they look over at me and they give me the sweetest smile. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice.
Wait, I need to unpack this a little bit. What? What bar? Why were you hanging around skanks? How do you know they were
Oh, we were
skanks?
just-
Oh, this
our
is the
hotel,
hotel
yeah.
bar. Yeah, and I had already had a couple cocktails. We went back to the hotel, and I'm like, let me have one more here. This looks good. And there's a couple girls sitting at the bar that were dressed up for the hunt. Is that a nice way to say
that's
it?
a nice way to say
Yeah.
They were professionals.
They could have been. That was Emma. Emma's
okay.
like, I think those are professionals. And I'm like, I don't know. I just because
Zoltan goes, let's find out.
only because like Boise is such a wholesome city. I'm like, I don't know. Like if we were in Vegas, I'd say, yeah, maybe. But like because of the location, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're also dressed up at the Holiday Inn downtown Boise.
Hotel Renegade. That's where we were. But
Oh, that sounds fun.
it was fun. They had a bathroom with those all windows, so Emma could watch me drop a deuce. Yeah. I think their ideas were sexy, but I'm like, man, to stay at this hotel, you better be in a comfortable, committed relationship, because she's right over on the bed and I'm over there pinching a loaf, tear running down my cheek, holding on to the towel rack, and I'm like, I'm so glad you love me. And
I've never been offended by pinching a loaf, but for some reason that one just hit me so hard, and I don't like it at all.
it's because I
It felt like a big baguette was coming out of your ass.
yeah.
Just the whole thing just rubbed me the wrong way.
It's because I painted the picture. You could tell the hotel.
You did,
You could tell there was a robe hanging off the door.
There was a single sweat
Yeah.
coming off your brow.
My feet are up like Jeff Daniels and Dumb and Dumber. Oh, man. Anyway, but yeah, so we were at this hotel and we saw these women on the prowl, and they should have been mean, I guess. I never noticed that they're mean, but I mean, I guess for women, you guys look at each other, you're like, oh, we got some competition here, huh? And then you guys give each other a little stink eye. I'm assuming that's what goes down.
I don't know about that, but okay.
But they didn't, is my point. They
Right.
looked at you and they went,
Yeah, very sweet. Very lovely.
they're so nice. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but and I said it on stage, but when we first got to town, we were walking through downtown, and a block ahead of us, there's like a homeless guy in a wheelchair, and he fell out of his wheelchair, and there's a woman who's like a big fella, and he's on the ground, and there's this woman over there like, you fell, it's like his woman. I think they were together, and I saw that we're walking up on it, and I told Emma, I'm like, let's give this a beat. And she's like, what? And I'm like, let's just stop right here. I'm going to do a half semicircle, and then we're going to continue walking. And she's like, what? Why? And I'm like, I just don't want to be the first person at that scene. I'm not a first responder. I'm not the one to go up and go, should I grab an ankle? What are we doing here? I want to be, and we're living in a town, Boise is so nice. Everyone's a first responder over there. Like, they ran up, because once we did that half semicircle, there's already 4 people around him helping him up. And I go, that's why I didn't want to be the first one, is because I know we're in a town where a bunch of people are going to help. And that's so socially awkward. I don't want to be up there. I'm like a 5th responder. I show up when like 4 people are already helping him up. And then I come up and I'm like, good job, fellas. And then I peace out. Like, that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm not a...
Oh, is there anywhere I can help? Oh, there's nowhere to put my hands? Okay. Great job. I'll just be a cheerleader.
That's exactly who I am. That's who I am right there. And I've always been that way because I've had it backfire to me when I show initiative and gumption. Like, one time I was boarding a flight and there was a woman who was having trouble putting her bag in the overhead, and I had my headphones on. I was just like, oh. And I just, without saying anything or thinking, I just went and helped her. And then she yelled at me and she said, I got it. And I went, whoa. And then everyone on the plane looked at me like, look at this chauvinist pig, doesn't think this woman can put her bag in the overhead. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never helping anyone with their bag ever again, because I remember that feeling. And I didn't want to run up on that scene. And he's like, my legs work. My legs work. Leave me alone. And I'm like, and they're like, look at this. We're
making a prank video. Leave us alone.
Look at this man, doesn't think this homeless man can walk because he has no money. And
I wish I would have the balls to help someone put a bag up, and they do that. I got it. And I go, okay, let me undo it. And then I take the bag out, put it down. I wish I had that kind of gumption.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
You're like, go ahead and get it then.
Yeah.
Put my hand on top of it. Go ahead. Push down.
I wished I could. That would have been fun. I wish I could have been ready for that. I wish I could have reacted like Chris Farley in the beginning of Almost Heroes, where he's on his way to the gallows, and he's like, and the woman's like, I hope you go to hell and blah 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 and die and blah, and she just goes, good God, lady. Remember that scene? I wish I did that. Like, I helped, and then she just yelled at me, good, and I just went, good God, lady. I would have been so funny, but I'm not in the moment like that.
I got it. Your breath smells. Sit back down.
Or if I got it, barely, and I just give her one of those. Like, I wish I had, but I'm not, that's not who I am.
You're kind for that.
Yeah, I just don't, it doesn't come to mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's not what pops into my head in the moment.
I got it. No, I won't touch you. Officer?
Why is your bag ticking? Come up with something. Yeah, let's make sure none of us get to Detroit.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, so I didn't help the man in the wheelchair that fell, but a bunch of other people did. And then right after that, I turned to Emma and I'm like, are you judging me for what I did back there? And she's like, yeah, a little.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It feels like one of those things that like karma will come around and.
Oh, like something bad's gonna happen to me.
I don't know, but I'm just like, it's always good to help people.
It is, but do you understand the social anxiety aspect of it to me?
Yeah, I get it. I get both.
Yeah.
Hey, gang, I got to bounce. Sorry to leave.
Hey, we'll wrap it up. See you later, big man Mike. We'll catch you next week.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the show, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace out.
A-Town down. He's from Atlanta. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, but yeah, like, do you understand that, like, it was the social anxiety of me that I'm like, I want to help. Yeah. I just feel like, first of all, he was very big. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to. So then I'm like, if I go to help him, it's going to be like 2 pumps. And he's going to be like, my shoulder. And then it's going to take a bunch of like bigger men to come by and like, hey, why don't you get out of here, little fella? And now I'm over there just like coaching the rescue. You know what I mean? And I that was like my fear. Those are the thoughts that immediately go through my brain of I just don't want to be the first one there. You know? I want to go help, but I'm not the first one.
So if there was 2 people there already, would you have gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
let me hold the chair and you guys lift them or whatever. I'm there to help.
Fair.
I just didn't want to be the first one there, and I saw other people walking around and they were crossing the street and I'm like, I'm gonna be the first one there at this pace. So let's give it a loop before we go.
When we did that, I had this because the streets were pretty empty and I'm like, I bet you there's somebody watching from their apartment.
Watching me be in
like we just like went into the corner there. I don't know.
I mean, it could have been very, very. I don't know. That's where it came from. And when I told the audience, which I think I'll post the set, but they judged me hard. 600 people in this music venue. It's because I said it very early in my set, but they judged me hard. But then I came back to it like an hour later, and because I talked more about the anxiety, yada yada, and then I brought it back.
Yeah.
And then they were kind of more on board. And then I over-explained it. But because I'm a people pleaser, I want these people to like me.
Yeah.
You know.
But overall, I really liked Boise.
It was wonderful.
It was so great. I'd go back. Yeah, food was amazing. We had Basque food.
Basque food. It's a group of Spanish sheep herders from the hills of Spain that were brought in they needed sheep herders or they needed herders in Boise. We read up on this and I kind of forgot. But they came in like the 1800s, a long time ago. So there's like this community of Basque people and they have a couple Basque restaurants. We had paella.
That was my first time having paella.
It was delicious. I think it might have been my first or second time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was a little smoky.
Yeah, you're not a smoky fan.
I'm not a smoky gal.
But would you like the croquettes?
The croquettes were really good. Croquetas.
I love the meat. Oh, no, you love the meatballs.
The braised lamb.
Braised lamb. Oh, no, yeah, braised lamb you were into. I loved the meatballs that came with the bread. It was like a deconstructed deep dish pizza is essentially what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fancy. This is all. I could have had 2
more. And then
more.
they had all this wine imported from Spain.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh, I'm actually making myself hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the episode for this week. I think this was 407? 7?
I think
7. 407. I don't know what we're going to call it. I didn't help a man.
We're going to call it Booyakasha.
Booyakasha. Oh, this one doesn't work. Oh, that.
You look so silly when you're doing that.
I know. It's easier on the right than it is the left. All right. I think that's the show for this week, everybody. Thank you for listening, downloading, sharing, subscribing. Don't forget to go to zoltancomedy.com. Catch me on tour. Catch me live. Mike, go to Burrow House Collective.
Burrow House something.
Something. If you have a podcast studio to book or you want to send a message to Mike just saying hello, you can catch him through there. Safe Journal, safejournal.co. We don't do notes anymore.
It's .com now.
.com. Oh, I forgot we bought .com.
We bought .com.
Suck on that. We got .com. But .co still works.
Yes, it redirects to .com.
Yes, you have both. So if you get lazy, if you have like a tired finger and you're like, I just can't hit the M, you can just hit the
We also have a new color if anybody's interested.
Tan.
It's a tan, vegan leather.
Vegan leather.
Gold foil.
Gold foil.
Tree-free paper.
Tree-free paper.
Acid-free paper.
Acid-free paper.
100 GSM.
What the hell is that?
Keep going.
What is GSM?
It's just the thickness of the paper.
Well, I don't like paper that's too thick.
Yeah.
I don't want it Bible thin. You ever read a Bible and you're like, what is this?
Where the ink doesn't bleed through.
Yes.
That's how thick you want it.
Yes, right before, just a hair before it gets that thick or thin. Safejournal.com. That's the show for this week. Cheers to you and your loved ones. Namaste.
Namaste.
That's so dumb. Leave all this in.
Let it out.
Trekking heavy or traveling light, there's one thing that's right.